So this is how, instead of going for so much of calculation using calculator, we can use the table, right? We can use the future value of interest factor table, right? And we can easily avoid the calculation. We can simply write the future value and multiply the table value what is shown in the table. Just we have shown in the last video that 0.564 is the table value shown here, and without going for calculation we can directly write the amount 564 rupees, right? So this is how we actually do a conversion using a table value. Now in this case we have converted a future value into a present value for one single amount. What if we get the multiple amounts in future, right? Suppose this is my timeline. Right? Say I'm standing here, time 0. This is time 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Let me write that. So this is time 0, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, this is 5 and this is 6. Now in the last case we said that suppose we are getting 1000 rupees after 6 years. What if we get some amount at the end of first year, or some amount at the end of second year or third year or fourth year? Suppose I am getting 1500 at the end of first year, right? I am getting only 500 at the end of second year. Not getting, I'm expected to get. Suppose I'm expected to get 2000 at the end of third year, right? These are in future. Suppose I'm expected to get 2100 at the end of fourth year, 2300 at the end of fifth year, and 1000 at the end of sixth year. Now how do I convert these? These are my future values. My problem is that I need to convert these future values into present value applying certain discounting rate, right? For example, for simplicity, discounting rate is 10%. So what I have to do in this case, the problem remains same, the calculation remains same. I have to just separate them, right? I have to separately convert individual items into present value, and at the end I have to add them all. So first I'll take this value 1500. So this is my cash flow at the end of year 1. So 1500, that is the first cash flow. At what point of time in future it is occurring? At the end of 1 year. So divided by 1 plus r, maybe r is 10%, 0.1 to the power 1. Why? Because it is occurring at the end of first year. So I am converting this future value into present value. Then I am taking the second one, 500 rupees. This is what? This is my cash flow 2, right? So 500 divided by 1 plus r, whatever is the discounting rate, maybe 10%, to the power 2. Why it is 2? Because it is occurring at the end of year 2. So I am converting that into present value. Suppose I am taking the third figure. This third figure is cash flow 3, right? How do I convert this 2000 rupees which is occurring at the end of year 3? 2000 rupees in the numerator divided by 1 plus 0.10 if the discounting rate is 10% to the power 3. Why 3? Because it is occurring at the end of year 3. If I do that, I actually get the present value. Similarly, I can convert all values individually into present value, right? All the values individually into present value, and at the end I can add all these values to get the total present value. That is what I have done here in the formula also. I have first converted individually, and then I have added all the converted present values. Okay, now this is what we are doing in case of multiple amounts. So first let me clear this all. Okay, fine. Okay, suppose we have a problem like this. My discounting factor here is 12%, right? So, and my number of years are 8, and this is not a single amount, but I have multiple cash flows in different points of time. At the end of year 1 I am getting 1000, at the end of year 2 I am getting 2000, 2000, 3000, 3000, 4000, at the end of year 7 I am getting 4000, end of year 8 I am getting 8000. So how do I do it? First, my job is to draw a timeline. At the time of 0 I have to calculate the present value. At the time of at the end of year 1, how much is my cash flow? My cash flow is 1000. At the end of year 2, how much is my cash flow? My cash flow is 2000. At the end of year 3, how much is my cash flow? At the end of year 3, my cash flow is again 2000, right? At the end of year 4, my cash flow is again 3000. right? At the end of year 5 my cash flow is 3000 again, right? At the end of year 6 my cash flow is 4000. At the end of year 7 my cash flow is 4000 again, right? At the end of year 8 my cash flow is 5000. Okay, now what I have to do, I have to apply a discounting rate of 12%. Apply discounting rate of 12%, right? I have to convert them. What is my form? Individually I have to convert all these figures, right? So for the first figure, what should I write? 1000 divided by 1 plus 0.12 to the power 1. For the second figure, what should I write? 2000 divided by 1 plus 0.12 to the power 2. In this way I'll separately calculate present value for all the future values and then add them up. Okay, so how does it look? So it looks like this. Let me first clear this. Okay, so my first cash flow is 1000, my discounting rate is 12%, so 1.12 to the power 1. Why it is to the power 1? Because this 1000 is occurring at the end of year 1, this 2000 is occurring at the end of year 2, 3000 is occurring, this second 2000 is occurring at the end of year 3, this value is occurring at the end of year 4. So how do I convert 3000 divided by 1 plus 0.12 at the end of to the power 4? In this way I am converting all future values into present value and then I am just adding them up, right? I am just adding them up. Okay, so this is what I am doing. If I do this calculation, then say 1 by 1 plus 0.12 to the power 1, the value is this. 1 by 1 plus 0.12 to the power 2, the value is this, right? This is how we calculate, and if I solve it, the final answer will be 13,376. But a better way to solve this kind of multiple cash flow problem is to use a table. Now let us see how does it work in a table. Now this is my cash flows, right? This is year 1 2 3 4 8, and this is the cash flows that I have written, right? Let me go back to the last slide. These are my cash flow: 1000, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. That is what I have written here also: 1000, 2000, 2000, 3000, 3000, 4, 4, 5, right? And this PVIF factor, instead of going for calculation, I'm just taking it from the table itself. Now let us see. I require 12%. I require 12%. So what is at the end of year 1? End of year 1, the present value is factor is 0.893. End of year 2, 0.797, then 0.712, 0.636. Let me see 0.893, 0.797, 0.712, 0.636. So it is already there, it is already calculated. So once I get the present value factors from the table, then this is the cash flow at the end of year 1, this is the present value factor of 1 year. So I just multiply these two, right? I just multiply these two I multiply, and I get the result here, right? This is the present value of this 2000 today, right? This is the present value of this 2000 which is occurring at the end of year 3. This is the present value of that 2000 today, right? These are the all present values, and when I sum up, see, I get the same result, 13,376, right? 13,376, I get the same result. Okay, so this is what we actually do using in case of a multiple cash flow. This is what we actually do when we get multiple cash flow, and ideally it should be done using a table, right? So I have referred the financial management book of Prashanta Chandra, Theory and Practice, Tata McGraw-Hill publication, for this particular slides. For any doubt, mail me in this mail ID. Thank you.